Assalamu alaikum. My name is Sima Abdul Rahman and I am the kidney donor of my mother. On August 17th, our surgery was done by the transplant surgeon Dr. Narendra and his team. I would like to thank Dr. Narendra, Dr. Anil Kumar and the whole transplant team of BGS Hospital for the tremendous job that they do in saving people's lives. We first came here on March 2021 for my mother's kidney transplant. After doing all the tests and cross-match, the COVID situation here started getting worse. So unfortunately, we had to leave on May as our surgery was postponed for 2 months due to lockdown. Even after going back to Maldives, the doctors were just a text away. There were times where I had to contact them since my mother had some difficulties in doing dialysis as she had thrombosis around her right catheter. We went according to Dr. Anil's plan with the help of the local nephrologist in Maldives. Again, we came back to India and our surgery was scheduled for 17th August after having the committee and doctors meeting. The nurses took care of me and my mother when we were in the ICU and ward until we were discharged.
I am Dr. Anil Kumar BT, transplant physician. Yeah, I agree that patients who develop some end-stage renal disease during this pandemic is a real bad time because the patients have to face a lot of difficulties to get a transplantation or even dialysis support. The reason is there are several challenges to do a transplantation during the time of pandemic because there is a risk of infections, there is issue of staff problems, the hospital may not be there. So it was a bad situation in both the waves of pandemic in India, both in 2020 and 2021. In 2021, there was a sudden surge in the cases and for 2 or 3 months there was a total standstill. We could not do not only transplantation, many of the elective procedures so came to an halt. With us, we have now Mrs. Mariyam and her donor, who actually came to us in the month of March for pursuing the transplantation. When we were almost about to do the transplantation, there was a sudden surge in cases. And in fact, we had to lose a couple of patients during transplantation who had already gone. So this created fear and panic among the patients. So we had to send them back to their country, hoping that we can tide over this crisis and we go ahead with the transplantation after some time. So they came back to us after a couple of months when things were cooled down here in India, and we again had to do the work. In her case, we had some challenges that she was a multiparas woman, she was sensitized, she had thrombotic events, so there was a tendency that she will clot the blood vessels. There was a challenge that after we transplanted, whether the transplanted kidney, the artery which is supplying the transplanted kidney may itself get blocked. And there is always a risk of infections, especially in the elderly people after transplantation. So everything went on well. She had a good primary graft function. So her creatinine is now between 0.87 to 1.0, and she has got a reasonably good urine output. There were no immediate or the first 3 months there were no complications. Now after she has completed her 2.5 months, she is fit enough to go back to her country. So there are some local nephrologists with whom we are in touch, and we are always having some video consultations so that we can help them. The first 6 months are very crucial post-transplantation. If they tide over this is the first 6 months, then I think she should have a reasonably good quality of life. And I wish them very best, and thanks for giving us the opportunity to do some service. Thank you.
I am glad that I got the opportunity to gift a kidney to the person who gave me everything. And it is my first surgery. I have never had any surgeries before. It took a lot of help from a lot of people to help make it happen and get me through the process. This includes the doctors, ICU and ward nurses, transplant coordinators, international patient department staffs, and my beloved family. It was an inspiring and humbling experience to be a kidney donor, from the beginning to the end. What I would like to tell everyone is that living donor kidney transplant has a lot of benefits. A kidney from a living donor usually is the best quality kidney. It begins to function more quickly after transplant and last longer. Anyone can be a donor as long as the blood types are compatible. The donor cannot have diabetes, high blood pressure, or kidney problems of their own. And the feeling of saving a person by donating a kidney is unexplainable. Also, donating a kidney has made me more aware of my own health. Alhamdulillah, I am living a healthy life even with one kidney. If you have a loved one with kidney failure who must have or will need a kidney transplant, this is your opportunity to donate a kidney and save a life.